Stephanie here. I am going to make this quick video about how to turn one video or one concept into a smattering of videos, like 4, 5, 6, maybe even 7. Because as tutors, as subject experts, especially if you're on our platform, mysubjecthelp.com, which I highly recommend you join us, turning your content into usable videos is paramount. And if you watch my tips for tutoring video, I think it was segment 2, but definitely the whole thing, you'll remember there was a part in there where I was talking about how one of our subject experts was doing video about perfect squares, and it was a beautiful video. It was wonderfully made. I, as a math person, understood it completely, but I thought my husband might not. And we kind of use that as the jumping point for that particular conversation about how you want to drive, making sure your viewers can like apply it in different ways, right? I want to back up to that example because it's a really perfect example about how you take a video and make it multiple videos. Because one of the pieces of feedback that I hear from our subject experts or potential subject experts is that I don't think I have enough content. And let me tell you, you have more than enough content, and here's why. Okay, so we're going to use this example of perfect squares. That video that was made, I told her to keep. Like, we had this really good conversation about how we take this and make it more. We keep this video exactly as it is, and we turn it into one of the videos about extended practice because it's what it is. They went through like 8 or 10 or 12 examples of perfect square problems. And so when you feel like you're at the level to practice it all day long, don't touch it. It's perfect. We are now, however, going to layer on top of it, kind of work backwards into helping someone who looks at the word perfect square in math class and goes, what? So what this subject expert and I discussed was that keep this video. We need to then add in more videos. So maybe there's a whole video about squaring, right? Essentially, squaring is 2 times 2, right? When you do something times something else, you get length times width, and you kind of get a box or a rectangle. And a square is the same on both sides. So when you do 2 squared, you're doing 2 this way and 2 this way. And it's called a perfect square because it makes a perfect square, not a rectangle, a square. So that could be one where you go, oh, perfect square, the word, maybe I don't know it, perfect square in application, not so scary, right? And so you can do a whole video about squaring, perfect squaring, right? This is 3 and this is 3, and I do 3 squared and I get 9, but it's a perfect square. And so when we're doing this perfect square, sort of like factoring, if you will, then you do another video about factoring, or you do that as your first part, and your second part of your video is factoring. So if you have the number 9, you have the factors 1 and 9 and 3 and 3. If you have the number 20, you have 1 and 20, 2 and 10, 4 and 5, right? Talk about factors. And what you want to do, and now you've got a video about perfect squares and factors. And that what you're doing here is putting them together. You are looking for the factors of a number that are a perfect square. So in the 20 example, 1 and 20, neither of those are squares. 2 and 10, neither of those are squares. 4 and 5, 4 is a perfect square. It is from 2 and 2. So now I have a whole video, one extra video. I probably could have made that into 2, to be honest, but I'm doing it quickly here. I have a whole nother video about the same topic. So I went from having 1 video to now having 2. And then I could do a third video. I could do 2 examples or 3 examples. And I could list out on the whiteboard or on my screen, right? I could take 30, and I could do 1 and 30, 2 and 15, 3 and 10, 5 and 6, and go, so far, none of those are perfect squares. So this number maybe doesn't fall into that category, and I can talk them through because maybe I forget what the answer to that is, like doesn't exist or whatever. But, right, an example where maybe it doesn't happen, an example where it does. Take 24, 1 and 24, 2 and 12, 3 and 8, 4 and 6. 4 is a perfect square. And I could use the screen or the board and I could draw out the perfect square. Like, is 6 a perfect square? No, because nothing times itself equals 6, right? And now I have 3 videos. I've got the practice one, which was perfect from the get-go, don't touch it. I've got the first one, which talks about squaring and factoring and how these kind of blend together and marry. And then I've got a third video that does round 1 sort of practice, right? Taking that first video and putting it into practice. And if we're keeping our videos to 7 to 10 minutes, these probably err on the 7-minute side. People watch part 1, people watch part 2. Maybe they don't need part 1, they just need a part 2. Maybe they don't need part 1 or part 2, but they need part 3, right? And then now you turned 1 video into 3 videos. Like, great. And that's what I mean. If you stammer and fall over yourself a whole bunch, it might be worth like taking a breath, starting over, calming down. Be authentic. I've already messed up a few times in this video, but I'm not stopping to make it perfect, right? But if you feel like you're doing a take and it's just not going well, pause, start over, do it again. That's always possible. But remember, videos don't have to be perfect. So be authentic, be yourself, and realize that you can take one concept and make it multiple videos. And now it's not so scary. Now you have 3 videos just from this conversation for people to watch. You're followable, you're searchable, you have people that might want your content because you break it down really well, and your content is fantastic. And that's what I wanted to say. I wanted to come on here and explain how you take one video and make it a bunch. And that how in my other video, when I said it was great for me, but it wasn't great for somebody else, that was a driver to why you want to make more videos. Not anything about the video being bad, because the video itself is honestly amazing. So if you are going to join us on My Subject Help, keep this in mind. Start with 1 video. That's usually the scariest part, just getting the first one done. A lot of your concepts seem like one concept on paper, but will turn into a bunch. Like I'm doing a video about me versus myself, and then I have a whole nother video about me versus myself versus I could try to probably compact it into 1, but it might feel rushed. So this way I can do 2 smaller videos and give them the space that they need. And that's how you turn one concept into multiple. We would love to have you with us. Otherwise, best of luck with your teaching and tutoring endeavors.